Good morning, ladies and gents. So, today, we're going to finish what we started yesterday, specifically getting the guard stuff put in, making sure that one character can guard another and that it doesn't look too weird or terrible when it does, and then also making sure that the person being guarded gets a little boost in defense, and the person guarding gets a free attack if somebody goes after him. Now, obviously, we want to do a few things additional to that. One of them would be make sure that you only get one free extra attack. So that's kind of it's not difficult, but it's something we want to make sure happens. And any other caveats that come up while we're working on this, we kind of want to make sure that those exist. Also, just want to make a jab at the fact that the sky solution is now in place and looks pretty friggin' awesome. If I walk over here and then manage to hit rest, you can see the clouds going by and stuff looks pretty decent. And then as the sun goes down, hey, look, there it is. The coloring and everything else, I finally got it all squared away yesterday. Although this does mean now that I need to do lights that turn on at night. Kind of the standard fare for most Skyrim-esque games. The sun goes down, the lights magically turn on, and hey, we can see again, because right now we definitely can't. And there's a moon somewhere up there, and I know it's really hard to see, but there are also stars intermixed in that, so I was happy with the final effects that came into place here. Just waiting for the sun to come back up. There we go. There's moon. I don't think the moon has phases quite yet, but we'll get to that eventually. But yeah, looks pretty decent and matches pretty well. That's the one thing I was kind of worried about, was that these realistic looking clouds would not match this game. And as it turns out, if you tweak the settings enough, they actually don't look that bad. And with a little bit of work, we could make them match even better. So, yeah. Yep. Anyway, moving on. Back to our test scene for combat stuff. Alright, let's see here. So we said, trying to remember how much we had in. So you say, I want to guard somebody, you pick the guard target, and I think that's all it did. It didn't do anything after that. So, close down some of these and get into our scripts. I'm just going to open a random script just to get Visual Studio going, because once it's going, I will remember what I'm aiming for. Right, so we started in on our dictionary yesterday. Oh god. All the things. Okay. Party, don't care. Combat action, close. Right, okay, so the combat window had the dictionary that essentially said who was guarding whom. And from there, we also wanted to do one more thing that I know I haven't done yet, which is the guard dictionary needs to be cleared every round of combat. Just in case. Alright, let's see. So if the player has guards, what we want to do is we want to make a roll based on each guard's yeah, we'll make it an int. So the defense bonus they gain is going to be equal to each of the guards', I think, weapon skill. And we'll check what their weapon skill is and then say, okay, we're going to roll dice and add that into the defense bonus. So for each person who is guarding, the defense bonus, PC dot, now here's, getting the relevant Interesting. Getting the relevant skill is actually, I don't know if it's all that easy. Spend energy, sleep tick. I guess I just need a... I love how remove item is empty somehow. I hope nobody calls this. But people definitely call it. Interesting. Let's keep going, and we'll come back and check on that later. Because I'm a little worried. Okay, so get the defense bonus. Your defense bonus is going to be equal to the skill of your current weapon that's equipped. Or shield. If you have a shield, you're probably going to want to use that over the... That, or we could do a smaller fixed bonus. Although, if a warrior is guarding somebody, it should be better than the mage guarding somebody. Just saying. So I'm kind of poking around looking for... Oh, I know what I need to find. I need to hunt down the spot of combat where I deal damage based on a weapon in a character's hand. That's what I think I need to do. So that comes through not a combat action, but a player combat action. Where you attack somebody and it does all this stuff. I'm thinking maybe I should move some of this code to the player character as helper public functions, essentially, so that I can more easily hunt down ways to grab this code, or better ways to grab this this logic. Okay, character get to hit. Here we go. Okay, this is what I'm hunting for. I'm just gonna nab this entire chunk. Oh man, I really don't like... Yeah. So... So we have getting the weapon that's in hand. We have the description for the attack of that weapon. And then the character spending energy on that attack. And then afterwards we actually do the... Here's the weapon skill, here's the hit, the defense, all that stuff. And then all this extra logic just inside attacking. It almost makes me think that maybe I should just insert an attack action into the top and say, by the way, this person is now attacking this monster. Problem is, it's not immediate if that's the case. It'll be, you defend them, and then not the immediate, well, would it be? I guess you still, their attack follows through before yours actually begins. So I guess that would make sense. I could leave all this logic here, and then essentially just insert a new player combat action at the top of the list. Okay, let's try that. Let's see how something like that would go. So, we still haven't, I still haven't come through with a way to get the current weapon skill. I have this get defense bonus. I guess I can use that. But we need to not leave this function empty. Unlike what we've done with our remove item function, which I worry about because people do call on that, and I don't see it doing anything, like at all. Yeah, that's more than a little frightening. Okay, so defense bonus. Right now, defense bonus is going to be the same as your to hit roll, I think. Either that, or we could turn it on its head. We could let them attack first. If you hit, that would then give a defense bonus. Although, no matter what, it's going to be distracting to have somebody swinging a sword at you, so I think we should just give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not so mean that I think, you know, the player should only get the bonus if they hit the monster. I don't mind them actually not getting that. Okay, so we're going to grab the weapon. And then part 2 is going to be grabbing the skill for said weapon. Okay, now we've got the weapon skill. Now the only thing left to do is make a to hit roll. And I'm curious what get hit bonus does. Right, okay. We shouldn't really be providing any extras to this. Just for now. So there's our defense bonus. And now that we're providing a defense bonus, let's see, where did that code go? Combat action. Ah, I shouldn't have closed it. Okay, so you get the defense bonus, and then what? Then you get to pretty much immediately attack in return, regardless of positioning in the party or anything else. So this is where things are going to get interesting. We should be able to grab the combat UI. That's not too difficult. We know we're in the middle of a process action. The word is completely blanking on me. Coroutine, sorry. So we're sitting in what is essentially the dead center of this call. So what happens after? For each character in the initiative list, we remove dodging from all of them. We clear the guard dictionary. We check if the party is dead. If the party is not dead, do we really just move on? Yeah, we really do. Interesting. Maybe this is going to be a little more difficult. Because I need an initiative list, not just that exists, but I need an initiative list I can insert things into. Because each person essentially needs to be able to insert themselves, not into the initiative list per se, but they need to be able to insert themselves into the list of things that's happening. And unfortunately, that kind of means that I might need to make a copy of the initiative list every round. I'm not a huge fan of that concept. But it seems like the easiest way to get my initiative list separated so that I can actually do inserts into the list without mucking with anything else. Is that really the case? I hate to say it, but I think so. Okay, so we have a list of characters. Yeah. And it's going to be not an initiative list, but a combat order list. And what we need to do is make a shallow copy of the initiative list. So I should be able to just call, not clear. There should be a clone or a copy. Copy 2. Do you have a copy to? No, this is a copy to array. There's no clone. Generic list copy. Really? Okay. Can I do something silly and say to? No. There's got to be a way to do this that isn't like more than one line of code. Really? Really, really? This feels bizarre. Convert all. Nope. Not what I want. Unless I can do a convert all character, make no change whatsoever, and just return that new list. Oh, but it requires a converter, and I don't have a converter, so no. Not what I'm hunting for. I guess I could for each through it, but I'm not happy about having to do such a thing. Or, now that I think about it, so we have a new list of characters, and then we do this. No, okay. I'm just trying everything under the sun at this point. Combat order list dot add range the initiative list. Now something's complaining somewhere. Ah, okay. So let's see here. The nice thing about having a combat order list, instead of using our initiative list that needs to be reused each time, is that what we can do with this combat order list is we can say, instead of for, we just say while the combat order list, the number of items is greater than 0. We always use the 0th element in the list. And that at least should allow us to insert things. The problem is, the last step of why this isn't going terribly well is the combat order list needs to be passed down to the actions. I like how I have this pointer in here too, as if that's going to help. But unfortunately, since this is a local variable to the coroutine, it's not even to the object that owns the coroutine. Because of that, we actually need to pass that along. Could I assign an order number to the character in the list, and then use link to resort it? Could I do that? So, okay, there's two parts of that. The one thing I do like is the fact that, yes, I might be able to, and that would allow for something a little more dynamic. If somebody's order changes in the list, I'd just resort the list mid-combat, and everything would turn out just fine. The thing I don't like is that the code that you posted, and most of Link, unfortunately, because of how it's written, is just not terribly good at not... sorry, need to grab something. Is not terribly good at not allocating memory. And granted, my way allocates memory too, but it doesn't allocate as much as I believe that link function would. So I think we're going to stick with what I got. But it is a good thought. It's something I'll keep in mind just in case. Okay, so process action needs to change slightly, such that I need a list of a list of characters, and this is my combat order list. I'm just going to call it the order list in here. In fact, I'm going to remove the word combat from it out here as well. If only because I know I'm in the middle of combat. I'm inside a class called the combat window. If I need a variable to be named combat, it feels a little redundant. Just saying. Okay, player combat actions. First off, apparently, I've never used generics inside this, so let's fix that. And most of these won't actually need modification aside from passing along this one reference. But what this will allow us to do is make changes to combat midway through, which is awesome. Sometimes you just have to pass things along. Oh, right. Monster actions also need this. And apparently they need to know about the joy that is generics. So, let's see. There's one. Oh, is that the only one too? Sweet. Okay. So, for each guard, we're doing two things. We're adding a defense bonus, and if they haven't guarded yet, new list, other list, instead of add range. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. Combat window, come here. I've got better code for you. New list, other list. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I had so much trouble with that. I feel like an idiot. You'd think a shallow copy constructor would be standard. It isn't always. But in this case, it looks like it is, and that's great. So two things. We need to understand whether this player has guarded yet. And the problem is that action may have come or gone. So what I'm gonna do... Yeah. We have all these character conditions. I can't help but note that parrying is in here, even though I don't have an action for it. Then again, a lot of shit's in here, and I don't have actions for it. So we're just going to, double check that nobody uses it. And since I don't see anybody using it, we're going to add it to the list of not guarded, guard complete. Because the guard isn't technically complete. Need a good word for this condition. It's like you've guarded somebody, you've attacked. Guard counter doesn't feel right either. We'll call it spent. Yeah, I'll figure out something better later. I just want to get it working. Dum-dum-dum. So if the person's conditions doesn't contain this, so if this marked against guard spent, let's see, if it doesn't contain it, what is going on here, guys? Because I've done this up here. Oh, I know what's going on. It's order of operations here. I don't know why, but it's unhappy with that without the brackets around it. Okay, so if the guard is not spent, we need to do two things. One, we're going to grab the order list, and we're going to just jam ourselves essentially into the beginning of it with an attack against this character. So, order list dot... So I guess there's two parts. One, we have to put ourselves into the order list. So, order list dot insert at 0, and we're going to add the player character. And then the other half is we need to actually make an action for that player character. And I need to remember how we made choices and how we were removing those choices. Right, action dictionary. And since I don't have access to the action dictionary, we need to either make a getter for it, or, sorry, a setter, not a getter. Holy heck. There we go. Set PC action. And we need to know what, probably the player character and then the action they take. And it's going to be a player combat action. Pretty simple. We have the player character, and the action is going to be a simple player attack action, where the target is the attacker. So that actually is going to be, since it's combat action, it is the character in question, and we only do standard attacks. So for now I'm going to put none. See what that does. 1, 2, 3? Really? 1, 2. Yeah, why did it want a third? Whatever. Oh, and finally, PC.conditions. We want to add in that guard spent so that they can't do that again and again and again. One last piece here that I just thought of, and I want to make sure ends up in here. So the player attack action currently moves on. If the target dies, then, like, okay, cool, I'll just attack someone else. Because normally you aren't guarding. Normally you're actually out beating people up. And if your target dies, fine, I'll just find another. Versus here, this is an attack of opportunity. This is specific. We want to make sure that the player, after guarding somebody, doesn't then proceed to just go on a rampage beating people up. So, skip if target dead. Yeah. And we're just going to put a true on the end of this, because we want to skip if the player target's dead. So if there aren't opponents left, or we skip if the target's dead. Cool. Oh, I didn't think of that. Combat window. One more thing that's very important to this whole thing. We should, at the end of this while loop, probably remove the character at the very beginning. The person who just acted should probably get removed from the list. Which means that when we add new people, we actually shouldn't be inserting at 0, we should be inserting at 1. Reasoning being, we want to make sure that the person who's currently acting is going to get removed from the list instead of attacking again over and over and over. Let's try it out. Let's set a bunch of people to guard one another. Actually, let's set everyone to guard themselves. And we'll see how this goes. Okay, so the wolf clawed the rogue. The rogue should now... Oop, he didn't swing back immediately. In fact, nobody looks like they're attacking. What is going on here? Also, something else I just kind of realized. If you dodge something entirely on your own, we're going to skip the fact that you're being guarded by other characters. So a dodgy character is actually going to be difficult to take care of in the first place. Also, I don't quite understand why this is its own... There we go. I didn't need quite so many levels of code here. And in fact, this is a little overkill too. Yeah, okay. There's still more that needs to go here. Let's put this first. So if you're being guarded, that will happen first, and then someone else can step in and save your... And then you can save... You have a chance to save your own sorry butt, is essentially what I'm saying here. I like that better. Now, why was nothing happening? That's my curiosity. For some reason, somebody upon taking damage... Okay, first off, I don't need that, because I know the target picker works. Thank you, though. Pick yourself. Everybody guard yourselves. Okay, the wolf claws the mage. Great. He gets hit. The target is a player character. Therefore, as a player character, we're going to check who is guarding him, and that came back as null. So the guard action is not setting correctly. That's our issue. Am I not filling in that dictionary? Is that what's going on here? Because that would be kind of funny and sad all at the same time. Set defense button, choose defense subtype. Oh, look at this. A to-do. Here's the guard dictionary. And we need to get the current character. And we need to say the choice owner is guarding the target. And, target as player character. Because we can only guard other players, obviously. One more thing I want to take care of. I just want to set this back to, oh, you know what? Who else uses the target picker in this file? Nobody, which is weird. Which is really weird. Yeah, let's set it back afterwards. Right now I'm setting the target picker to say party only. It's not entirely the truth because it should also be able to target other things when you cast spells. So I'm just going to put that back in. What tool am I using for debugging? Just standard Visual Studio. Visual Studio with the Unity tools installed. If you do a fresh install of Unity, it attaches all these things to Visual Studio. Okay, so the wolf claws the warrior, he hits him, then the warrior flails at the wolf. I forgot that flails was the was the attack of choice here. Okay. I didn't think about that. I guess counters, guards, let's see, you're guarding somebody, somebody attacks who you are guarding, and you proceed to protect them, and then follow that up by countering. Countering doesn't seem like the right word. You guys got something better for me? Or let's see if a thesaurus has something better for me. Like, I'd say riposte, but that's kind of a fencing specific thing. Reciprocates. That actually might not be too bad. Gets revenge. Stab. The warrior gets revenge. Just jab, jab, jab. Well, that might be another way to go. I could just use swing. That's the other thing. I don't have to use any of these others. But I'm going to use counter for this reason. Like parrying. This is just pure ward off a weapon attack, especially a counter move. So parrying is when you are the person being attacked, and you're kind of like trying to get their weapon out of your face. That's iffy. Because that would be something I would say, actually, I know where that works. Let's see here. In the combat action, we say if the hit roll is less than or equal to the defense roll plus the defense bonus. And this if statement needs to shift upwards, apparently. So if the hit roll is less than or equal to the defense roll plus the defense bonus. So if your defense bonus shoves it out of the range of taking a hit, what we need to do at that point is, first off, hit is false. Secondly, a resolution text should say something along the lines of guarded or parried. Parried might not be too bad. Yeah, okay. Cool. So you parry the shot, somebody parries it for you. That works. So that's a good place for me to use the word parry. The counterattack, though, is not a parry. That's you taking an attack of opportunity, essentially, because this person just went after whoever you are trying to defend. Thus, the reciprocation was kind of a retribution, requital, revenge. Reply might not be too bad. The warrior replies, smack. Although that might be a little difficult to follow, I want to make sure that essentially whatever the word I use is, it's obvious that this came from, or it's as obvious as possible, that this is a counterattack. So I think the word counters actually works out. And the reason I'm making it its own attack subtype is I'd like to add a perk later on that says, hey, you're really good at counterattacking. And so I can give decent bonuses to that attack when you counterattack. So the same place we use dot swing flails at. If you are countering, we'll use the word counters. And then when we're checking hit bonus, we're actually going to make it a little harder. You're busy kind of, what's the term? You're busy defending somebody. So I just want to make sure, essentially, that if players do nothing but defend, that it's not a huge negative, but it's something there so that it's not the only thing you ever do as a player. Retaliates. Ooh, I like that. I like that so much better. Where the heck did that go? I want that word in my game. Counter? No counter. Come here. Retaliates. Yes, retaliates. Oh, I like it. Nick, thank you very much. That is an awesome word. I don't know why I didn't come up with that, but you did, and I am happy you did. Alright. Retaliates. Sweet. I want to see this, happen now. Come on, fight. Guard. Okay, everybody's going to guard somebody else first. So I'm just going to go across the row. When you guard somebody... Okay, so the warrior's getting... Whoop, it said parried and hit. Guys? What'd I do wrong? Combat action. Parried. Okay, if the character gets hit, if it's a player character. Okay, first off. Got it. Got it. If you still got hit, do this. Better. I realized some bad logic in there and just had to clean it up. Let's try this again. Everybody defends across the row. Wolf bites the cleric. Parried! Haha! This might actually be too good. Okay, never mind. So the wolf got the mage. It's still saying flails. Why is it still saying flails? Oh, I'm not putting the weapon type in, that's why. Combat action. Your type should not be none, it should be counter. Whoopsies. There we go. Once more with feeling. Especially since I gotta pack up and get going soon. I have somebody picking me up today, which means I gotta get going a little earlier than usual. But guys, this looks like it's all taken care of. There we go. There's our retaliation. Ooh, this bat is gonna just earn hell for itself. It just attacked everybody. This is amazing. Ooh boy. So now the mage retaliates against the bat, and then the oh, no, I kind of thought everyone else would just dive in on that, but I guess everyone else has already retaliated in turn. No, the rogue just retaliated, though. Interesting. I need to figure out what's going on that's causing people to not retaliate immediately. Alright guys, well I gotta get going. Thank you very much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, or if you just like what I do, please hit the little heart below to follow the stream. It'll let you know when I come online. Jimmy, I haven't been streaming Settlement for quite some time now. Settlement has unfortunately taken a wayside to this dungeon crawl goodness. So yeah, thanks again guys for joining me, and yeah. Oh, right, that's what I was going to say. I've been putting up the YouTube videos in the VODs on YouTube, so if you click the link below and you want to know how we got to this point, that stuff is also down there. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Take care, have a great day, and hopefully I will see most, if not all of you, tomorrow. Right? Today's Thursday, so tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there will be another stream. See you guys then.